Hello, everyone. My name is Wangle. I am a tax and financial planner. I just wanted to talk to everyone today about people impacted by Helene and Milton. There are three major places provided by the government that you can get help. So the first one is from FEMA. The second place is the SBA. The third place is the IRS. The first one is FEMA. I know FEMA's been getting a lot of flack lately, and they really are out to help. Can you get FEMA assistance if you have insurance? And the answer is a resounding yes. You may qualify for FEMA assistance even if you have insurance. And by law, FEMA can't provide benefits for what you got covered by your insurance, meaning you can't double dip, but you can get covered for the amount that the insurance doesn't cover you. What if your insurance settlement hasn't come yet? So FEMA can basically advance you that settlement money, and when you get that settlement money from the insurance company, you can pay FEMA back. Do you have to be a U.S. citizen to qualify? U.S. citizen can qualify. Non-citizen nationals qualify non-citizens. You can also be a legal permanent resident, green card holders, non-citizen assignment seekers, refugees. You can see it. You can see all the people who qualify. You can also apply for FEMA assistance over the phone. What are the limits to what you can get, right? So there is the individual housing program, which you get money from FEMA for maybe renting a place to live, making home repairs, or expenses related to repairs or replacing personal property. Another question is, do I have to repay the disaster assistance? You don't have to repay it. The individual and housing program, the amount of money that FEMA pays you to get temporary housing or do repairs on your house, you generally don't have to pay. The settlement advance, you do have to pay when you get that money from the insurance company. So the second place you can get help is from the SBA. So if you go to sba.gov, you can find assistance for disasters. So you'll scroll down, home and business disaster loans. And right here, you'll see Hurricane Helene and Milton. So let's say you were impacted by Helene. And here you can take a look at the available loans. So there are three different loans you can get. Home disaster loans, loans for homeowners and renters to be able to repair and replace your home. Businesses who have been impacted, homeowners may apply for up to $500,000 to replace or repair their primary residence. Renters and homeowners can borrow up to $100,000 to replace or repair their personal properties. Second homes and vacation homes are not eligible. And, you get to defer your loan, meaning you don't have to pay anything back for the first 12 months. No interest is going to accrue for the first 12 months. So your interest is going to start accruing the second, like a year later. And the interest rate will not exceed 4%. It's a 30-year loan, no prepayment penalties. And collateral is required if you're getting the loan for physical damage, right, over $50,000. In a presidential declaration area, which is most of the places impacted by Helene and Milton. They'll ask you to put your real estate down as collateral. I'm not going to go into all the loan disaster details, but business in the disasters can qualify up to $2 million in qualified business loans, as well as nonprofits. It doesn't cover losses that are covered by the insurance and other sources already. The terms are the similar, 12 months, deferred, 12 months, no interest accrued, and so on and so forth. The third place you can get help is from the IRS. So we're going to look at a couple of things the IRS is doing to help people impacted by the hurricanes. First of all, is you have an automatic extension for filing and paying your taxes. Tax filings and payment deadlines that occurred beginning September 22nd in Alabama, September 23rd in Florida, September 24th in Georgia, 25th in North Carolina, 26th in Tennessee. All these states, the relief period ends on May 1st, 2025. This is the postponement period. What does that mean? It means that any business or individual that has a 2024 return that normally are due in March or April, you now have until May 1st to file those tax returns. Quarterly estimated income tax payments, normally that are due January 15th, are now are also postponed, right? Tax payment normally due on April 15th, it also postponed to May 1st. So that means if you file and pay on May 1st, you will not be assessed any penalties. Another thing is that individuals who are in the FEMA disaster areas who suffered uninsured or unreimbursed disaster-related losses can claim them as a loss. So normally, if you have a casualty loss, let's say a hurricane hit your house and it wasn't in a federal, like a FEMA disaster zone, then those losses that aren't covered by insurance, you cannot deduct those losses on your primary residence. So if your clothes got damaged, if you lost your roof and it's not covered by insurance, you cannot write off those losses on your tax return. However, if you are in a FEMA disaster area, you will be able to write off those losses. Now, granted, if those losses are not covered by insurance or FEMA, if they're covered by insurance or FEMA, that might be that's a different question. You can't write those losses because you were compensated for those losses. So any losses that you can't write off that you suffered, you can either write those losses on this year's return, meaning 2024, or even you can file an amendment and write those losses off on the prior year. So what that's going to give you is that's going to give you a nice tax refund if you owe taxes the prior year. So this is basically like, going back and carrying back losses to 2023. Another way that IRS is able to help is through the retirement plan help. So you can make distributions from your retirement plan. So 401k or IRA, these pre-tax qualified retirement plans, you can get distributions from them without suffering and paying the 10% early distribution tax if you're younger than 59 and a half. So normally you would be hit by the 10% early distribution tax if you're younger than 59 and a half if you were to pull money out of those accounts. So if you live in a disaster area, you don't suffer the 10% early distribution tax, and you can spread those distribution over 3 years. Now you can also repay those distributions and basically you're not limited to your yearly IRA and 401k limits. Here is how much can you take for your distribution. 10% penalty free is $22,000 by the Secure Act 2.0. You want to read more, you can go to this FAQ here, and I will post these in the link in the description. So I hope this has helped for people who sustain economic loss. Finally, I want to highlight that disaster payments are usually tax-free. These qualified disaster relief payments are generally not included in your gross income. And as long as these are used for reasonable and necessary personal family living or funeral expenses, repairs, rehabilitation of home, or repair or placement of content, they're not taxable. My name is Wengel, and I hope this information has helped you through the tough times. If you have any more questions or concerns, just leave a comment down below, and I'll try to answer as best as I can. Thank you so much, and see you in the next one.